Welcome to the home team. I'm your host, Spencer Henderson, and the wait is finally over, Rattler Nation. The university introduced its 19th head coach on Monday afternoon, and you know I was out there. That's right, all of the drama is over, and we can officially move forward with the 2024 football season. Now, I spoke to FAMU President Larry Robinson, FAMU Athletic Director Tiffany Dawn Sykes, and the new leader of the Rattlers. And it's coming up next on the home team. It's official like a ref with a whistle. The HBCU national champs have reshuffled its cards and are dealing a bright future for Rattler fans across the globe. At this point, you would have to be sleeping under a rock if you didn't know that former FAMU head coach Willie Simmons resigned at the beginning of the year and accepted a running backs coaching position for the Duke Blue Devils. Now, the program took that loss on the chin, and for the past month, FAMU's athletic director Tiffany Dawn Sykes and FAMU Nation are at odds because of her lack of transparency in the selection process. She originally wanted Fort Valley State's head coach Sean Gibbs as Willie Simmons' heir apparent, but she received backlash from FAMU fans after making James Cozy III the interim head coach instead of the permanent head coach. It got so bad after FAMU's National Alumni Association filed a vote of no confidence in Dawn Sykes by a vote of 18-3. The association also filed a 19-1 no confidence in the attempt to hire Gibbs. So we have sound bites from that historical press conference as well as reactions from around the campus. But first, I have to start with this sound bite from Larry Robinson. He stated that he gave the defense the name the Dark Cloud Defense, and he has a new nickname for the offense. This is too hilarious. Let's take a look.
Then I just have one other thing I want to say before I move on to A.D. Sykes, who probably won't be as rambling as much as I am. You know, a few years ago, we coined this expression, the dark cloud defense, right? And some people say that it may have made a little bit of a difference in how the defense performed over the years. And since I was the one who suggested that, there are these fallacies of logic. One of them is the post hoc fallacy, after this, because of this, right? And so because of that, we have one of the top defensive teams in America, the dark cloud defense. And I've been trying to figure out, Coach Cozy, what to do about the offense. Not that they aren't great, right? But I think they could have played a little bit better had they had their own little tag associated with them. And I've been thinking of something. I don't know if this is going to take hold or not, but I'm going to try it. And so y'all know how this goes when the dark clouds get on the horizon. And when thunder and lightning, right? And so that's what I'm going with, right? The thunder is going to be, those running backs is going to be smashing people into the turf. And the lightning will be the quarterbacks who are striking them up with touchdown passes all over the place. So from this day forward, it's the dark cloud defense and the thunder and lightning offense. All right, thank you.
So what do you think? Leave your comments in the chats, please, and I'll just move on. Now, President Robinson seemed to be in a great mood all afternoon, and after he addressed Rattler Nation, AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes did the same. And I know a lot of Rattlers out there have been patiently waiting to hear from the athletic director regarding the new head coach. So this is what she had to say.
Today begins a new era in FAMU football. Today, we will add a new name to the legacy of FAMU football coaching greats. There was a large pool of interested and experienced candidates who were considered. And at the end of this process, James Cozy III emerged as the right person at this time to lead FAMU football.
And listen, guys, I don't have an issue with our AD. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Now, a lot of things have happened on the Hill in just a month. I'm just ready to move on. So guys, I won't talk about how some of the coaches have bolted from the program, like our former director of recruiting in Devin Rispers, or our former associate head coach and the head coach of the defense in Ryan Smith. No, I would not do it. Instead, I will focus on our bright future with our new head coach, the coach that I said should take over the program from day one after Willie Simmons resigned. A coach that stayed the course and is now being rewarded for his patience. Now, the AD shared her vision at the presser about what she was looking for in the next head coach to lead the Rattlers, and the whole time, the person she was looking for was right under her nose.
My vision for this role included identifying a coach who first and foremost had a commitment to academic excellence and has a comprehensive understanding of APR. Coach Cozy is currently a doctoral student at Capella University studying leadership and higher education. So it is clear that he understands and appreciates the importance of higher education. Additionally, in his short time as the interim head coach, he has already begun implementing academic policies and penalties to hold our student athletes accountable to their academic expectations. Next, I wanted someone who knows what it takes to sustain this level of competitive excellence. Coach Cozy has experienced success both as a player and as a coach. As a two-sport student athlete at Florida State University, he won a national championship in 1993. As a coach, he won his first national championship in 2007 when he served as the special teams coordinator at Valdosta State. And of course, most recently served on the staff right here at FAMU that won the 2023 Celebration Bowl for the first time in program history. I also look to identify someone with head coaching experience. Coach Cozy served as the head coach at St. Mary's University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, immediately prior to joining the family as the cornerbacks coach in 2022. I also look for someone who had an understanding and appreciation for HBCU culture, has experience navigating the transfer portal, and someone with a proven track record of recruiting, coaching, and developing talent. I am happy to say that we have found someone who checked each and every one of these boxes. His next few weeks will be busy building internal and external relationships and, of course, preparing for the upcoming National Signing Day that is just over a week away. Rattler Nation, I ask that you support and engage not just Coach Cozy, but his family. I ask that you welcome his wife Marissa and sons James IV and Maxon with open arms to this community that I have grown to love over this past year. You play a huge role in the critical success of our program. I am directly asking those who I consider my FAMU football mentors, Greg Coleman, Rudy Hubbard, Killer Lawrence, Akil Blunt, and Xavier Smith to lead the way in rallying support around our new head football coach. I ask everyone who loves FAMU to fully support our coach, his staff, and most of all, the apples of my eye, our football student athletes.
Now, the crazy thing about this quote is everyone that loves FAMU has already showed their support of Coach Cozy, and their love is one of the reasons why he was selected in this role. In my opinion, the pressure was too much, and time was not on her side. She was literally trying to find a permanent head coach outside of the university in a month. It was just too big of a task, and more time was needed. But with National Signing Day right around the corner, she had to make a decision, and the right decision. Let's keep watching.
Coach Cozy is now forever a part of the rich legacy of FAMU football head coaching greats. It is my honor to introduce to Rattler Nation our 19th full-time head football coach, James Cozy III.
Thank you very much. Band, if you don't mind, can I just hear, hey, let's go for about maybe 10 to 15 seconds, if that's okay? I get a chance to do that for the first time, so I'm just going to make that small request. Please.
Cozy was a player that I watched play at Florida State, a guy that has been a part of multiple national titles, whether playing or coaching. This guy played and coached for Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews. The right guy for the job has always been James Cozy III, and at 2 p.m. on Monday, January 29th, he became FAMU's 19th head coach. And here's what he had to say.
Thank you very much. After Miss Sykes said what she had to say, and then hearing that song, I don't think I need to do anything else. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, none of this would be possible. Next, I'd like to thank President Robinson for his confidence. And quick story about President Robinson. Howard had jumped out on us 14-0. I think about 10 minutes left in the first quarter. And President Robinson normally stands by he's kind of on the sidelines, kind of in the beginning of the game, when just watching us and making sure everything was going well. And we're down 14-0. So I quickly looked at him. I said, we're going to turn it around. And he calmly and politely said, "We better." So at that stage, we knew we had to get ourselves together, get ourselves going in the right direction. And as he said, "We better," he, kind of slowly left the sideline. So I knew I had immediately to start screaming for no reason. But I think it got done. I think it ultimately worked, President Robinson. Secondly, our Vice President and Director of Athletics, A.D. Sykes. I call her boss. I call her A.D. Sykes. I call her Miss Tiffany. And I'm hoping to be calling her a friend for quite some time. She's done an amazing job. She's been extremely transparent with me throughout this entire process, and I can only help but say I appreciate that. Now, another quick story about A.D. Sykes I will say is we can no longer watch basketball games together, because every time we watch a game together, that sucker decides to go into overtime. So if you guys see us standing next to each other at the basketball game, you might want us to move away, because we might go into triple, double, or whatever the case may be. We might go into some type of overtime. So Miss Sykes, we're going to have to separate tonight. We will win, but we're going to have to separate how we sit with each other tonight. Got a couple things, if you don't mind, but want to thank the Rattler F Club, 220 Quarterback Club, FAMU National Alumni Association. We will reach our maximum potential by not compromising by anything that we do, keeping our vision and goals the same. I cannot wait to meet all of you in some capacity. I know there's a lot of excitement. My phone right now has currently 497 unread messages. And I promise to get back to everybody, except for Vaughn, but I promise to get back to every single person within a timely fashion. I sent a message to my coaches last night. I put my phone away for about a good 24 hours. And my family thought it would be important that I put the phone down and spend time with them. And as I went back, that's when I realized all the messages and emails that I had throughout the day. And I can tell you this, it's great to be the head coach at Florida A&M University.
And I can speak for Rattler Nation and say, brother, it is good to have you as the head coach of FAMU. Your hiring is a breath of fresh air for the fans, and you know you have my support. Now, speaking of support, you know I couldn't leave the press conference without asking the new head coach a question, right? So here it is.
Congratulations,
Thank
Coach
you.
Covey. Spencer Henderson, FAMU TV 20. I just want to know, I saw your players at the championship celebration. They were chanting your name, Cozy, Cozy. What does that mean to have your players, to have your back throughout this whole situation from the jump?
Well, it's just been great. I can't say it hasn't. It's been great. I think they understand that, they have my back, but I'm also going to have theirs, right? There's a trust that's been built over these last couple of years, but I asked my guys I wouldn't ask them to do anything else except be honest with me, do what's asked, and just be quality individuals, right? So, that's not going to change now that I'm the head coach or the permanent head coach. So, the guys know exactly what we need, how to be successful. I don't have to hype them up. I don't have to do any of that. Those guys go in the weight room right now. They're fired up. They're getting it done. I just want to add a couple things that I maybe want to do or want to do, and just add to the success that we've had over the last couple years.
Now, Coach Cozy also said that former FSU running back Rodney Hill is back on the hill, which is a huge development. This guy was in the transfer portal and then committed to the Miami Hurricanes, where he's now a Rattler. Now, the news was shocking to me because it proved to me that Cozy can still bring in top-notch FBS talent. Let's check it out.
We lost maybe one or two guys, I want to say, from our class. We had the opportunity to get Rodney Hill back, which I think is going to be a great deal for us. But at the end of the day, recruiting is about relationships. But ultimately, you're right. Guys are going to go where they want to go. But we will continue to try to show our brand, to show what we can do to help them be successful while they're here. Now, do we have some needs? Yes. I think Coach Henry and I will talk later on. I think we're talking about maybe getting couple more offensive linemen. We need a couple more wide receivers, but that's everywhere in the country, right? So yes, we're going to address our needs, and again, we want to make sure that we're just not going to grab guys just to grab guys. We want to make sure we're grabbing the right guys that fit our system, fit what we need them to be academically, where we want them to be on a football field, and where we want them to be socially.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for me for the first episode for the home team. But remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at FAMUTV20. See you next time, and keep striking.
Coach Cozy, he's a very good coach and a prestige coach.
I feel like this would be a good experience for the football team.
I'm very excited for what James Cozy III can do.
As I continue my thanks, I can't forget about my players, and I say "my" in quotation marks now. Without them, their voice, their ability to share their confidence with me. The team, our first meeting we had January 6th, I challenged them to not worry about the outside noise. I challenged them to make sure we did a great job in the weight room. I challenged them to make sure we start off well academically. I challenged them to hold each other accountable, and they did up to this point, they've done a great job, and I'm hoping that we continue to do that. Now, what's next for us? We got fourth quarter drills. We have spring practice, spring game, April 13th. First game of the year, we are back in the city where the season ended, back in Atlanta, and obviously we get a chance to open up the season against Norfolk State. Now, I want you to keep in mind one thing. When they introduce us, they will have no choice but to call us the reigning HBCU national champions.